We have just seen rushes direct from Hollywood of pictures being released in the coming weeks. And we are proud to announce that this theater will soon bring you the greatest array of pictures ever to reach our screen. You'll see the finest stars in exciting performances. You'll thrill to the suspense, comedy, romance, and drama of world-famous stories. Here's a glimpse of a few of them coming to this theater soon.
Disney rules.
He's
Powerpuff rules.
He's flapping his wings as I'm twiddling my hands next to my.
So, are you both going to shoot simultaneously at each other?
It definitely feels that way. Like,
Yeah,
the ideal
it's
way
like
to
that.
happen is that one of us aims and then fires, and the other one guards and then counters.
Yeah.
So
No,
we're both getting our bonuses on it.
You both have held actions, so I'm going
And we're
to
definitely having the eyes jumping jumping close-ups between the both of us as our hands are twitching next to the.
So you guys
the
are
pixels.
you're going to interrupt each other to take a regular shot, unless
All
one of you
right.
is cowardly and dodges.
No, look, you want to do that? I think it works. Griff, I get, even though mechanically it cancels everything out, essentially
Well,
it doesn't allow us to have the big shootout versus shootout, and it will
Yeah,
most
yeah.
likely be
You both
whoever
shoot.
wins.
I need you to both make a shooting, an attack roll. I assume you both going to want to throw your star power in on this one.
Yes, we are definitely.
Yeah,
doing our star
definitely.
power.
And now's the time for personality. I have chosen a bold personality.
All right, roll. Winner hits the loser.
What are the total rolls I need?
What is your attack roll?
What weapon are you using?
My gun.
What? So
The service revolver?
Yeah,
You have
service.
Speed plus
Yeah.
shooting plus ammo.
Right. So speed plus shooting plus a D6 for your ammo die because you reloaded. And then you can throw in your star power die, which I believe is currently a D8.
Oh, I thought the ammo was just a D4 for it.
Well, no, he's an actual bandito, so he actually has.
Oh, he actually has a boat. That's right. Oh, man.
All right.
Making it harder for me.
Speed,
Yeah, he's an
shooting,
actual shooter. Whereas
Okay.
you're a daredevil, you're a stunt person.
That's right.
You're
Ideally,
on-
I should actually just be dodging here, but it's more dramatic if we shoot each other.
All right.
So
Alright,
here we
so-
go. Here's my shot.
Oh,
And
it's
it
her-
works out exact. Wait, actually, hold on.
You got
That's
a
a five.
5, and you got a 5. I got the 6.
Yes.
Mendoza, do you want to tap your personality?
Nope. I will let Griff take the hero shot for this. It's fine. I will
All right, that's
actually-
still only a mere 3 points of damage to you. You do have a chance to soak it first.
Hold on. Do you have do you have shooting as a skill?
me or Griff.
Griffin.
No, not at all.
All right, so you are hit. You'll take a whopping. What are you shooting? A service revolver?
Yes, that's right. +2.
So that's +2. All right, so Mendoza takes a 3-point hit. So Mendoza, I need you to roll your body dice. If you have endurance as a skill, I need you to roll that. And then you get to roll another bonus D8 from the rough outfit because I let people do that.
All right. So I got a 6 and a 7.
So
Okay.
you soaked it down to 1.
So you soak it down to 1 point of damage. So you either need to die or tap one of your soaks.
Well, the only thing I want to do is have enough time to have a dramatic death overreaction scene. So
So you want to
I want to die, but I want to
All
be
right.
able to live long enough to have a really over dramatic death scene, like in the end of
Well,
the movie.
This is exactly the setting to do it in.
That's a good. You get shot and then fall down and then make a roll of speed and presence. And you probably want to use your star power. And I guess you were saving your personality for this one.
Yes. Speed.
All right.
You said speed and presence, right?
Yep.
And-
Can't draw out. That would be gross.
and then I will be using my star power.
Yep.
All right. So I got 2 successes.
Did you want to throw in your personality on this one since you're dying?
I mean, now's the time to use it.
It's an extra D12 if you throw it in.
Yep. Sure.
And
Absolutely.
what is your first personality? Hard boiled.
So,
All right.
yeah.
Say something hard boiled as you die.
And he goes, I really wanted fried chicken tonight. And then I'm sitting there, and I stumble back a whole bunch of times, and I just topple backwards over some rocks, and then I die.
Yeah, I shot you, but I'm somehow no longer culpable for the death in a Disney-like manner because you fell backwards over
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, and I fell off it. No, actually, I stumbled backwards and I fall into a mine shaft. There's some random hole. There's some random hole next to the railway yard, and they've been digging, and I just fall into it.
For some reason, there's a hole there.
Yeah.
That's what they used all the dynamite for.
And now I'll like soliloquy to absolutely nobody at all. The systems around us that protect us, that help us bring justice, are stronger than any bandit, than any baron, and will always prevail.
Meanwhile, Flint,
Oh shit!
at medium range, you can see the rail car that the robber baron is shooting from. Larry has just died. Padre, what are you going to do?
How about a scare stunt? Look what you did to your friend. If you don't be careful, you'll be burning in hell.
All right, go ahead and make a roll of body, will, and presence.
And I'll be adding my star power to this because this is my big dramatic moment. Oh no.
Okay, now I need you to make a roll of speed, evasion, and a bonus D12 because he's going to shoot you anyway. Your
You
God
convince him
can't
he's going to hell, so why stop short?
I'm already going to hell. Hell's after all. Oh my God.
I have no marks in evasion or no skill dice in it, so that's a hit.
The whole cast dies.
Yeah, it could be. That's a 5-point hit.
All right, frenzy and hurt soak.
Nice.
But you gotta soak it first.
Yeah, you could actually
Oh,
bring
yeah,
it down a
that's
little
right.
bit. Let's see.
Body and endurance, and a bonus D8 from a rough outfit.
I think a priest would have a fancy outfit or a uniform of some kind.
That's body and endurance. That's right. You have a fancy outfit because you have a priestly outfit.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we know you're a padre. And our rifles +2 or +3?
I think I
they're
have it
+3.
up right here.
Actually, I think they're +2, but help me out with that.
Hunting rifle +3. Speed shooting
Okay,
ammo D4.
So that is actually
High
a
power is +4.
This would be a hunting rifle. Not high power is like a military grade rifle, or an elephant gun. He doesn't have that. That's a 6-point hit. You've soaked none of that. You can tap panic soak to take it down to 4. You can tap hurt soak to take it down to 2. Now you're going to go ahead and tap your frenzy, but your frenzy, I believe, is what, a bonus 2d6 soak?
No, that's only in Myriad Song. Frenzy is just a soak that refreshes every time you attack.
And hurt soak is 3.
Tap
But
another 2, which does take it down to 0. So I guess you were just shot in your Bible.
Yep.
And the sacrilege brings the power of God into you.
Dramatic shot. You are still standing. You are also the only person still standing. So after you were shot, but unfortunately that did make you tap both frenzy and panic. So you are panicked.
Right.
So I assume because Eddie's gonna Eddie is going to grab Larry's corpse and say no, and I guess you're going to run for cover, Padre.
Right.
Okay, Sparrow, you heard the gunshot.
all right, I gotta fly back into the scene.
Body speed athletics.
Let's do it.
Want to use star power? Choose that before you roll.
Yeah. Well, I still have my athletics, and so we got body, speed, athletics. I'm not putting any star power in it, but that's still 2 successes.
And your favorite use of athletics is?
Let's make it flying.
I'm not impressed.
I'm not
But-
either.
Okay, so if
Totally
you
worth
success,
it.
where are you going?
I'm looking for where the gunshot's coming from.
You will definitely get to where the gunshots are coming from. Please make a roll of speed evasion with a bonus D8.
All right, so we got D8, we got another D8, we got a D6, and yep, that's all of them. Ooh, I got singed by something here.
Unless you want to, you already used your
I already
personality.
tapped my personality.
You've been shot by Lyle.
No.
That is a 4-point hit.
All right, well, time for me to go ahead and roll my soak, which is going to
I'm
be.
Why didn't you think of this before? Just go to town and shoot with my own gun.
Wow!
Wow.
Look at that.
This is a bummer of a movie.
Oh man, everyone dies at the end. I mean, I do have endurance for the moment, and for this career, for this movie, I will have endurance and I can choose soak and reroll one of those.
So go ahead.
1.
All right,
So-
you've taken it from 4 to 3.
Perfect. I'm going to be hurt.
All right. I guess you're gonna. What are you gonna do? Fly in the window and try to wrestle with Lyle, or you're gonna try to shoot him?
He can't counter me, so yeah, I'm gonna shoot him.
So you're gonna land and shoot at him.
Yeah.
All right, star power.
I will probably be star powering this, yes.
I'm hiding in the rail car like the coward I am.
Good. My star power dwindles.
Flint, you ran away to recover from panic. So you are
Right.
recovered from panic. But your frenzy soak is not yet recovered.
Right, so it's slightly more dangerous out there.
Well, the sparrow, their name is distracting him. Do you want to get on your horse and ride away?
No, justice must be done.
So what do you want to do?
He is the Lord's vengeance.
He's gonna, I guess, try to keep to cover if possible. I mean, it's railroad yards, so there's probably lots of intermittent steps between him and Lyle there.
That would be a roll of speed and evasion. Do you have the stealth?
I do have the stealth.
You get a bonus D12 as you have the stealth.
And star power for this, because this is another big moment.
Okay, so while this distracted, and I guess the sparrow's sitting there, it's like Lyle's going, "You don't understand the ways of this world," says Lyle. It's always take what you can when you can. And I'm gonna go ahead and shoot.
Oh
at the
boy.
sparrow. Are you gonna counterattack or dodge?
He's got that 2d8 there, and that's a little scary if I'm being honest. And I could dodge better, so I'm gonna dodge now and then shoot him.
You get a bonus
Later.
D8 to dodge. You
Yeah.
may use star power if you want.
I got a D4 of that left. I'm saving it. All
I'm a
right.
crappy shot.
We are bouncing around his rail car here.
Okay. Do you want to shoot at him through the window, or do you want to do something else, Sparrow?
I'm going to aim at him and then shoot.
All right. I will attempt to dodge.
And I will spend my last star power to attempt anything at all. Oh, your 8 beats out my 7, and I lose my star power, and I'm out of ammunition.
Oh no! I never thought people would get tired of Griffin, but here we are. Okay.
It turns out the shootout just so long and drawn out.
Yeah, it's like end the movie already. Speaking of ending the movie already, Padre, you have snuck around to the door of the rail car.
Right?
Do you want to enter the rail car? Do you want to blow it up? What do you want to do?
Enter.
All right. So you sneakily enter and you can see Lyle in the rail car. He's sitting there staring out the window trying to shoot at the sparrow with his lever action rifle.
All right. Could either
You're
make
sneaking
him
up on
surrender or shoot him. Let's shoot
Yeah,
him.
you want
I tried that before. He shot me, so let's do it.
So you're just gonna shoot him in cold blood.
Yes,
All
as
right.
God smote the Amalekites, I shall smite this miscreant.
You may include your tactics dice as bonus attack dice.
Sadly, I have none.
All right. He looks up and sees you coming at him. Huh? What? A priest. That old fortune teller was right. Okay. Do you have anything else you want to tap, like personality?
Let me check. I think I've already done personality, but you did say we had a break, right?
Yeah, you rested.
Okay, so actually, I will use personality.
What is your personality?
Bad boy.
Okay, say something bad, Padre.
And you will know that I am the Lord when I rain my vengeance upon thee.
Blam.
Hey, we got an 8.
That is a hit. You're shooting me with a shotgun. How much damage is that?
Hold on.
It's +2, right? So it's 3 points.
Pump shotgun is 3 points. Plus 3.
All right.
5.
So, he will like stand up and you blast at him and I guess get near him, but not at him. He soaks one of it due to sheer stubbornness, and he will tap his panic soak. So he will surrender. No, surrender! No, don't kill me! Don't kill me! Well, Flint, you're the closest. Do you accept his surrender?
I will. And I'll pull out the pair of handcuffs I got back in town.
But you're not Flint.
Oh,
You know what?
sorry, I thought I was closer. My bad.
So what would you
suffer here on earth before he suffers in hell?
All right, so you wait until the sheriff comes in to arrest him.
Yes.
All right, congratulations. The sheriff arrests him. Wow, I can't believe all 3 flunkies survive.
They're somehow luckier than the main characters.
3 flunkies.
The dramatic music rises at the end, and the 2 heroes stand over all the banditos.
Sometimes the cost of justice is high, but it's worth it to see peace and justice prevail once more, even in small towns such as these, like ones that you, the viewer, are from.
And this is when Flint lifts his Bible out of his jacket pocket, and he was about to make a sermon, and then sees a hole through it.
I might look at last rites. Oh wait, yeah. Yes, because we'll have to cut away to Boot Hill, where everyone's saying, "Oh no, I can't believe Larry Kohler is dead." Who? The town drunk, Larry. We're here to see Espina. Get out of our way.
He was one of the first people I met at this town. He'll always stay in my heart.
But yes, at Casa Hacienda, we're gonna have to go ahead and dress, bury Espina next to her dead brother.
Of course.
And now Griff, the bird with no name, has taken over control of the hacienda. Is now the new sheriff in town.
Yeah.
And this is the point where just the dramatic music swells. Yeah. The sunset is seen, despite it being morning like 30 seconds ago.
And we leave with what's his name? The bird with no name, looking out into the sunrise.
And Eddie going, well, I guess I'm the last person who lives in this town. Well, I'm not really sure why I'm holding on to it, but I guess we'll get the railway people to buy me out. And we couldn't have done it without you, Sheriff.
Should we have a teaser? Should we have a teaser scene where there's the hole at the railway cab and you just see one dirty, grimy arm reach out over the edge?
I think you fell in the well, so I think we're gonna leave. This is also I mean, sure, the Haze Code maybe just ended, but people like to see a good odor with a good happy ending. No,
Mhm.
we'd have a reprise of the song. For some reason, the song that Espina sung in her hacienda that no one else ever heard, we'll go ahead and have our two main leads sing that song as if they somehow know it. That way,
Of
the
course.
spirit of Espina lives on, and then we'll go ahead and have a dissolve where we'll have Espina staring, against the sky.
Gotta have the bookend.
We can Luma key that in. And I think we would go ahead and roll credits because I think that's a wrap.
Yeah,
Woo!
that's a wrap, everybody.
We filmed it in 2 days, everybody.
God
Look, we
damn
can
it,
actually
Hugo.
afford one day of craft services today.
Damn it, Hugo, your Mendoza was so frustrating.
All right, so I guess we need to quickly wrap up here. Bird with no name.
Hey,
What is your motto?
my motto is to follow your star.
Yes, you did. I'm going to give you 1 experience point for that.
Woo!
And did you have a secret goal?
I did, to deliver a melodramatic monologue that steals the scene.
And you did do that. So I'm going to go ahead and because you accomplished a goal, I'm going to go ahead and give you increased type.
Ooh, increased type. Thank
because
you.
you are that kind of actor. And what is your typecasting again?
Lucky.
Yeah.
Things just keep going my way for my character.
Espina, what is your motto?
Time to clear the sidewalk.
Not sure where you got that from, but I'll give you an experience point.
It's from a pretty famous movie from the 1920s, 1930s era. The female lead, ironically, of the movie says it.
Oh, what's the title of the movie?
Now I have to look it back up.
I like how you say it's from a famous movie, but I don't remember the title. It's that
Well,
big.
I don't remember a lot of things, Raph.
I'm sorry,
There's a lot of ways we go with that statement, but we're just going to leave that one out there alone.
Do you remember what your secret goal was?
The movie was Where the Sidewalk Ends. 1950s
Oh,
movie,
okay.
actually. So it's of this era.
I didn't know that was a movie. I just know the book by Shel Silverstein. And
Mhm.
what was your secret goal?
My secret goal that Hugo seemed to be at complete ends of trying to make me fail to complete was to sacrifice myself, either die or leave the movie by the 3rd act. Why do you think I was chasing after you so much? And you're like, well, I'm going to go on my species of coward. I'm like, fuck you. Just, like, it was in my head. Like, if he shoots me once, I'm not going to dodge, and I'll just take the damage, and I'll die. And he's like, no, I'll never shoot him. I will never lift my gun and shoot at Espina.
Yeah, I thought that was hilarious because these are randomly assigned. I just put in a whole bunch of goals, and I thought it was hilarious. Like, okay, so here's Theta, the guy who dies in almost every game I'm ever in.
Intentionally has to die, and I inadvertently prevented from doing that.
Yeah, you refused to shoot at me, attack me, counterattack me. I had to wait until Raph decided I was going to fall off the horse. I'm like, well, this is it. This is the only moment I'm going to get. Because Hugo then later decides to have his mano-y-mano.
Actually, I will disagree with you because what I was expecting you to do was to like athletically dive off the horse, and then we would have our showdown. Because honestly, it was either going to be you or Griff who was going to kill me.
I did that once, and you ran away.
Right, but I had to wait till the 3rd act of the movie, not the 2nd act of the movie.
No,
so I was waiting for the end.
The bird with no name is the main guy. You shoot me down as the example in the 2nd act so that the bird with no name can then have the, but you never did it.
And to clarify here, I like the random emergence that came out because a tie on a dodge roll is I need to find some cover to hide behind. And since he was already talking to all of the flunkies, and we have an abstract map here, I was thinking, well, Mendoza could dive behind some boxes, but Mendoza would grab a random person and hide behind them.
Hey, and time to clear the sidewalk is all I have to say.
Yep, that was tragic. Okay, so I'm gonna go with that. That's a gift because that was a personal goal that you accomplished. So I gotta figure out what to give you besides increased type. Is this something you had your eyes on, or should I just give you increased type?
I mean, I guess I'll take increased type again. That'll just push me to D12.
Okay, so you're now the best actor here.
Of the quiet movie era, silent movie era.
It was a quiet dignity. Speaking of quiet dignity, Flint, what was your motto?
That wasn't my fault. I do plan on changing it, but that's what it is for now.
Well, you still get 1 point because what happened here was not your fault. You did ask them to surrender, and you did accept the surrender when of the Baron when he did give up. And what was your secret goal?
I had to make up a commercial side project, and mine would have been my singing career.
So it's make a virtual side product and have a scene in this movie that promotes your product. So what did you do to promote that?
I burst into song during the movie.
Yeah, the final song. He managed to convince us to make him a duet, the final song, so he can justify his single release.
I'm going to go ahead and give you increased type for that. But yes, you basically use this movie as a personal promotion vehicle. And Mendoza, Hugo, what was your character's motto?
The show must go on.
Definitely, that's 1 experience point. And I believe your secret goal.
Now, I already exposed my secret goal, but technically speaking, I was still playing against my character type, even in this one, because
you were. Everyone remarks in this movie how that one scene comes totally out of nowhere.
Out of left field. So I'm still, if I had kept my mouth shut, it would have been perfectly like, oh, that's why Hugo was acting weird in this movie.
Yep. So I'm going to give you increased type. No, it was basically an ad lib in that scene, and we left it in the movie because I have terrible judgment. So I believe the final scoreboard when we're ending here, I believe Theta is ending with a star power of D10.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Raph. Could I request that my gift be switched over to species because it's D4 and I'd at least have it on a D6 just for balance?
Sure, you did do a lot of ferrety stuff during this adventure. So yeah, increased species is fine. Because you were a coward running away and doing the ferret weasel thing, coming around. So I believe if I'm tracking this correctly, help me get me wrong. Theta is going to go ahead and end with a D10 star power.
Yep.
Arcaloid is ending with a D8. And Hugo's also
we raised it.
A D6? Okay. So Arcaloid's ending with a D6, and Hugo, I think, is actually ending with a D10.
Well, did it raise at the end of the 3rd act?
Yeah.
Because if it raised at the end, then I did go to D.
It does not go up at the end of the at the.
Okay.
It goes up Act 1 and Act 2.
So basically, we have a pretty decent trajectory. I think it's time, man. I think it's time for us to go full tentpole, big budget, big budget movie, magnus opus. We're gonna hire the crazy screenwriter, and we're gonna.
So and unfortunately,
next movie's gonna be our Gone with the Wind, our what's the other one?
Chariots
Star
of Fire,
Wars or Chariots of Fire, or whatever the 50s equivalent of that is.
And if I'm not mistaken, unfortunately, Griffin, you basically wore out your welcome during this movie, and critics think you're the low point, as you have a.
I have depleted it completely because I've never gained any throughout the entire film except when the scene changed.
Yeah, you were all over this movie. So the critics evidently come out and saying, like, disappointing. What's the name of your actor again?
James Spahr.
Yes, James Spahr. Normally a vehicle ostensibly for him, is outshined by the many other actors, including Larry's moving death sequence.
James Spahr is like a vessel for other better actors to act around.
However, the movie does incredibly well. The scene chewing excesses of James Spahr does not bring down this 4-star movie. Thumbs up. Would recommend.
So yeah, I think it's time for us to move up to the next level and actually take it out of the cheesiness and try our first chance at a real movie. Look, we got production value now.
Yeah, we got color.
We got an executive producer.
Congratulations! That brings us up to 8 box offices.
Woo! Money is pouring in now.
Yeah. So, and I made some notes about things we could do.
I really propose that for this one, just for shits and giggles. I know Rafferty, you rather prefer it be more like grind cinema or like pulp cinema.
I'm up for anything. So
Right. But I still like the idea of us just being a movie studio and just giving, trying our hands at being successful and just be like, hey, let's do a romance comedy, or let's do a western, or let's do a space aliens movie, or
I'm not
something.
sure what the incentive is after we earn box office points. I'm not sure what the incentive, like what should we be spending that on?
At this point, I mean, if we want to keep metaing, it's either award season, or it's literally like a financial fame reward. Like we all want to be rich and famous at this point. It's really up to
Right. I mean, you all
you.
want to be rich and famous. So the question is, how does these box office points translate? Like I can think of ways of sacrifices we like. You know what I mean. I'm the Corman type filmmaker, so I'm thinking of things like product placement or filming without permits, or ways to get around having.
Oh yeah, filming the rodeo.
Yeah, shooting the rodeo. But then the question is, after we get money, what do we do with it? Like, how do we spend this to improve your characters?
Oh, by the way, I realized I just want to clarify a quick dumbass moment I just had before I Chariots of Fire. I didn't mean Chariots of Fire. I meant Ben-Hur.
Ben-Hur. Yes, Ben-Hur. That's actually a perfect example.
Chariots of Fire is about soccer.
Yeah.
That what I was thinking.
Confusingly enough, not about chariots.
Chariots of Fire is about running.
Is it? I thought Chariots of Fire was the soccer movie about the what's the international committee about the one coach and
No.
Chariots of Fire has the Vangelis soundtrack and has people running along the beach. That's how.
Oh god damn it! Now what's the other movie I'm thinking of?
Dun, 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 dun.
That's the only thing anyone remembers about Chariots of Fire is the Vangelis soundtrack.
So, but I mean, yeah, at this point, yeah, from a meta point of view, this is where the end goal, I guess, would come. Either we're pitching for like a Oscar award kind of thing, or it's literally like what's our final payout? Like, do we get to retire at the Beverly Hills, Beverly Hills mansion, and get our post career dreams come true?
I recall the suggestions before was spending it on sets so that we have sets that we want to do on, that we say we've spent money on, and can use those for dice bonuses or just star power.
So actually, I would say since I would say like this is there has to be some end to it. So we can say this is the final point. At this point, we can make the movie we want to make with the resources we have now accumulated, and how we succeed in this movie determines whether we are truly successful as a studio and win that Oscar and get the fame and glory, or we flop at the box office and no one ever hears from us again. And college students watch our movies at 1:00 in the morning when they're stoned.
Right, like for example, I joked during this movie that that the town only has 5 people in it. Like I'm trying to remember what there's this really terrible cowboy movie that was on Mystery Science Theater that like the town only has like 5 people in it, and it's just and the staging is so terrible that they actors have a tendency to duck in buildings but then flee out the back because the buildings are all false fronts. So it's like you're not supposed to point out that the buildings are false fronts, guys. You're not supposed to be doing that. I suppose it could be that we could try to get bigger stuff. That's something to think about. There's so much stuff to build on with this. I'm glad. I mean, I hope you're enjoying it, right?
Oh yeah,
it's
absolutely.
really fascinating. Like I said,
yeah.
At this point, I kind of feel the more fascinating thing is like how weird can we make this in terms of like being able to craft this as a game. Whereas people
and also one thing I was going to suggest was the rotation, where it would be that instead of one person being the director every week, that we might switch off that position.
That could very well be a very good gameplay way to keep it from being stale and add a little bit more kind of either chaos or dynamicism, where we're like, hey, every week someone takes over the director chair. I'm still refereeing, so I'm still telling you what you need to run. But then now we have scenarios where as the player, as the director, has to make the scene come together. So they're the ones wrangling everyone that, hey, I need you to do this and I need you to do that. And that's actually sounds pretty interesting. I actually kind of feel like that's, like I said, we could do this either one of 2 ways. You could frame this as a GM creates a movie. We have 3 scenes. You are all actors. This is what you're going to do in your scenes, and that's the meta. or conversely, we are all members of a studio and we're trying to make a movie happen. Therefore, Data's the director this session, Griff's the director for the next movie, Arkloid is the director for the next movie. You get what I'm saying? Or people can literally just pick who wants to be the director for the next movie. I want to be the director for the next movie. Cool. Theta's director for the next movie. What kind of movie do you want to make? Guess what?
Okay.
We're making 80s slasher. Of course we are, Theta. All right.
So does somebody else want to be the director for the next movie?
I think this one was my project, so I'll pass it off to someone else. Anyone else got an idea they want to roll with?
Well, I was the director of the last movie.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
this was like the idea I had in mind. So
Well, no, I think
I
you're
like
talking about who would want to run next game.
That's, in other words, I'm asking who would run the next game.
mhm.
I will try. I could try to give it a shot at least once to see how this
Sure.
works. It's someone
Oh,
else's hands.
now we're putting you on the spot. Do you have like a
Yeah.
movie in mind that you want to make?
I could think of quite a few things by next Friday that we could do.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine, but we're running on Sunday.
Yeah, no problem. I could totally come up with something. Like I said, the only thing I will need is I will probably need your Rafferty as sort of like dial a friend. Like, how do I do this, or how do I
Well,
vote for this? You only
and get some text to set up here. But
Right.
really, I got a lot. I want to thank everybody who did the crowdfunding, because this is the capstone to the entire Urban Jungle line, which has been very exciting to work on. There were a lot of things. I've had a lot of the phrase I use is holy grails of design. These are things that are constantly showing up like as ideas that people want to do in the tabletop, but they're almost always unsatisfying some way in their implementation. Either they just don't work right, or what really annoys me about them is their implementation in the game is the opposite of what we're looking for. Because I mean, with Urban Jungle, the basic book, our major obstacle was we want a game where there's still action, like people still get shot at or get into punch ups, but it isn't like most games have the problem where all damage was just hit points. So I mean, I've had this has come up more than once with me, where someone would just say, there's no difference between shooting someone and punching someone. They both do hit point damage. So we might as well pull out our guns and shoot everyone we meet, because that's more damage and there's no difference in the game. And obviously, in a real life aggravated assault type world, or in a more action adventure,
It's literally a joke bringing a knife to a gunfight.
right? So the damage system, where it's you just have to take them down to 0, but you can fighting is easy to use and implement in the game. Plus, also there were non-combat abilities, because there's non-combatant, there's coward, there's distress soak. There are specific abilities built into Urban Jungle that still have a formal context for action sequences and combat, as in their hit points and attack values, their numbers for that, instead of what you usually see in a lot of these games, which is just like, okay, it's a modern day game, but if you're a non-combatant, just don't buy combat skills, just suck and die.
Right, and that's not exactly an enjoyable experience to just stand back and die.
Right.
It's the incorrect solution. No one wants to die, but these games that can't tell the difference between a person who has dodge at 90%, who wants to avoid fighting, and someone who has dodge at 90%, firearms at 80%, and is here to shoot. So that was one major design goals of Urban Jungle. And Urban Jungle, it sounds so egotistical, surprised me in how it satisfied those. And then next on that was occult horror, because occult horror really wanted to get away from how these games often devolve into comedy. Like I didn't want the, I saw an alien, now I hate to use the shower and I burn trees because I'm crazy now. I
yes,
wanted
the
to get
Dennis
away from
Quaid.
that. Yeah. Whereas I thought the occult horror, the way Griffin especially was running it and the way we were playing it, felt a lot more like you still had weird powers, but they felt like weird powers, which is what I liked about it. We kept to the period with ESP and psychokinesis, as it might have been perceived in the period, and powers had trade-offs. Sikovic, you know, felt like a specific type of enemy.
Yeah, he was weird and
And
inscrutable and
you
everything.
know, that was a design goal. And then I would say, right, so that was a design goal. And then with Astounding Science, one of the things, you know, like, first of all, the gadgetry was a big hit. So thanks, Data, for playtesting that. But I'd always been convinced that Starship Combat, like everyone's always asking us for big Starship Combat where you get in vehicles. And I've always been convinced that people didn't really want that, because when you sit down and actually do a vehicle combat, it's always like, okay, so we have to learn a new game. I've been sitting through for years of people complaining that we don't want this to be a tactical war game, and then suddenly, oh, let's push out Delta V rules now. You know, let's go to shift to a completely different set of combat rules that slow the game down, and only some players are involved because only some players have the combat skills that are necessary to pilot type stuff. And I was always convinced, like, this is just a miserable experience that no one actually wants. I know some people are going to contradict me on that, but
I agree with you, Rafferty. Unfortunately, I am in the
we
camp
managed
of
to get
I
that
want those things.
ship-to-ship combat. Well, I mean, I get that some people want them, but like, it's a paradox when folks will tell me, like, role playing is not, you know, just about combat, but then a huge system. I'm glad we got that down to, it still felt like the original combat rules, but with the spaceships having a variety of soaks and having a variety of weapon systems and vehicle systems, we got that boiled down to where I personally felt that it felt like it had meaningful choices that were happening to you during the game.
Yeah, one step closer to another game.
I enjoyed the space combat. I think it was a good balance of, you know,
Yeah.
us, everyone,
Well,
even people not invested being able to do something, and even like
Yeah.
like obviously me and Griff were the only ones that were really into, like,
Yeah, I got that cargo hold on lock.
let's do loop the loops and see how we can, like, you know, position ourselves to take advantage of the enemy and all that. Everyone else is like, yeah, what do I do? So
Well, and also we did make sure the gadgetry rules are tied into that, because we let you know, your gadgeteer modify the vehicle. And so yeah, I think that had a lot. I think we got that to work in a way that I felt. I especially wanted to have narrative type stuff, because I think people want the vehicles to be tied narratively in with the story. But if you make the rules too precise and have exact numbers and that kind of stuff, eventually you're going to have to either start fudging it, or you'll notice that the numbers don't match up with the actual stories you want to tell. Because I've had a problem with, I'm not going to disparage people's favorite games on the air, but I've had a problem where the GM wanted to do something narratively in the story, and I'm sitting there reading the vehicle rules saying everything you've described is impossible, or everything you've just described we can defeat with a single die roll because of the way these numbers work. And that's a fault of the system, because if the GM wanted this stuff to happen, they shouldn't also have invoked a game system where it doesn't happen.
Right.
I mean, you could say, like,
yeah,
well, they're
no,
just going to
I argue with people all the time, because there's always a group of people who are like, hey, if only they could add more statistical anomalies that account for this real world factor. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds great in theory, but in reality, since we're just dealing with abstraction to begin with, your numbers will never line up with reality, and you're gonna fudge something
But it's always
anyway.
the gregarious when, like, you know, it's like, hey, the system is about X. All right, well, when you look at the system and the numbers, X is not actually possible within what they've
Yeah,
written.
well,
It's like, all right, what am I supposed to do?
I was playing a pre-gen adventure, published by the people who make the game. So, like, the people, and there was a scene where you get in a fight with another fighter, and then you shoot them, and when they take half damage, the fighter is supposed to escape. Except they forgot in the rules that the ship they gave us was fast enough that our full speed was more than their damaged speed. So, in other words, they couldn't get away from us because we could catch them. All they had to do to fix this was just make the other ship have a higher speed. but they just had the wrong numbers. And now I'm annoyed because, like, if the other ship just gets away for free, it's like, well, no, they wouldn't. We have a faster ship.
Yeah, what's
Why
the
do
point
you
of having a speed if the speed doesn't matter?
I mean,
And that
I'm
goes
never.
back, and that goes back to
I still
that
grip
goes
on
back
to
to
Mutants and Masterminds, where my speedster got outrun by a guy on stilts.
right. But that also rolls back to like when you only have 15 people that you've ever play tested this rules, and everybody lets the bad guys escape when they get to have hit points because thematically and story wise it feels better. But no one thinks about, hey, what if you're just with a bunch of murder hobos who just want to kill everything they see? They're never gonna let these guys escape, and the rules
Right.
basically allow
You don't have to be a murder hobo to want to capture a bad guy.
I'm being facetious,
So-
but you get my point.
murder tourists. But in any event, that's why we wrote. So our goal was to write the rules that the kind of behavior that you want to see would actually happen. And so that's why I'm curious now. Drive-in's a little more new territory for us because I enjoy this kind of meta type stuff. So I want to make sure it's got that in it. So and also, like, I'm glad that you are invoking other eras like the silent movie era. I hadn't thought about epic movies, not Irwin Allen. It was Cecil B. DeMille type epics. That
Greatest
sort
story
of
ever
thing.
told.
Right. We're getting away from the drive-in. I mean, I know I called it drive-in because I was thinking of the 50s drive-in, but now we're talking about other kinds of movies. The giant musical numbers that were popular in the 30s because we had audio now, and they're always trying to outdo each other. That eventually falls out of fashion. But for a while, those giant water ballet numbers or anything are big deals. So we can go ahead and make the game amenable to that kind of stuff as long as it's not too far off topic.
And just to
But
let you guys know, I've already made a decision. I'm going with Theta. We're doing an epic tentpole, big budget movie, Ben-Hur. It's going to be a Ben-Hur type movie, like think ancient Romans,
Oh, boy.
gladiators, like that
Sword?
kind of
I thought you were going with
melodrama.
the fake me that you invented in your previous example who wanted to do slasher movies.
Yeah,
We're going
no,
with Theta, we're
that's-
doing slasher movies.
no. We're doing
Hey,
Ben-Hur. We're gonna be era appropriate. So
there's no
everybody
reason a
think,
big epic could also be a slasher.
everybody think about what their favorite Ben-Hur, Cleopatra, Ten Commandments type of character or role that they
I'm
want to
playing
do.
Moses.
I will leave it open because I don't want to be.
Oh no, I'm
I wanna
playing
give you guys-
Jesus.
I'm
wanna
totally
leave-
fine with you just giving me something because
If you guys want to decide now
Yeah.
what specific type of movie you want to make, I'm cool with it. But if you
Mhm.
want to think about it until next Sunday and then decide like what type of movie you really want to get into, I would appreciate your input. Obviously, like the examples I use are Ben-Hur, Cleopatra, or the Ten Commandments, or basically
underdog sports movie, but
Gone with the Wind.
gladiators.
Gone with the
Yeah,
Wind.
technically
Gone with-
Gladiator qualifies.
Gone with the Wind is also an appropriate metaphor to reference to qualify. So if you have any idea of what type of movie you want, it just has to be big, epic, kind of like that, high
Oh, you guys
standard.
post it because I'd want to do a funny thing happen the way of the forum and be Zero Mostel.
Yeah.
So
Well, I have 3 words for you, Hugo. I am Spartacus.
Okay, cool. Yes. So yeah, something like
are
that.
you making
So
another gay subtext movie?
Well, I mean, it's our thing at this
no,
point. Let's
this
just go
cool
ahead
to be
and
just
do it.
poetry today.
I mean, you guys know about the gay subtext in the Spartacus movie, right?
I did not realize until years later when I was adult and I ended up watching it one afternoon, like on HBO. And I'm watching it, I'm like, whoa, did he just ask that dude to just sit in the pool with him and read poetry? That's totally pervy.
I'll have to watch it. I saw the Spartacus miniseries on Netflix.
In the classic movie, there is a totally, and it actually, from what I heard, it is an intentionally subliminal gay subtext scene that they put in there to mess around with the censors, where there is a moment where the master is with a slave and he makes the slave go in the pool with him to do, and it's totally
And the
weird.
Playing with the Boys from Top Gun starts playing.
Yeah.
All right, so who's gonna give us our poetry slam for this movie?
So I'm gonna have to pick a character for that. But yeah, no, this has been a wild ride. So Urban Jungle, I think, has been a great exploration. So thanks everybody. But yeah, I think as I was mentioning when we were getting warmed up here, there is a lot of work to be done. Not only is Astounding Science need to have the final polish and be sent off to the presses, but then Drive-In has to come right after that. And if you're watching this, on the 31st of January 2021. We're still doing the is anyone following the Abyss Kickstarter?
I mean, I backed it, but I haven't actually paid attention to the Kickstarter itself.
Oh, because we are this close to no, we did it. Okay, as I'm broadcasting right now, we did go over the $10,000 mark.
Yeah, money.
Hercules.
So we're what, in the top 3 now of
10,000. No,
top
a lot of
4.
our KSs have done 10,000. This isn't even in the top 5.
Well, number 1 is still what, 16, 18,000?
Number 1 is Usagi Yojimbo, which is 17.
Yeah. Literally, I said 16, 18, 17. All right, somewhere. They were in there.
So about the same. But no, this is I mean, I'm pretty optimistic this will do a little bit better. But 10,000 was the wide release goal. If we can do 10K in a Kickstarter, then I'll go ahead and invest in getting this brick and mortar wide distribution. Because
Nice.
eventually game stores will open again. Knock on wood.
Hopefully.
So we'll go ahead and invest in wide distribution.
Hopefully they just don't become kiosks where you just order to get it delivered to your house.
Yeah. So we've got we got some new people because we got Abby Howard on board, who's doing a lot of horror stuff. Crossroads at Midnight is their new comic book that just came out. So good luck for them. And we got some new people here because we've got Allison Seib, Jen Tyler. Those are new people we haven't worked with before, as well as some of our old standards like Rafferty's back. Hey, Howard is back.
I was confused for a moment. I didn't realize you were just naming everybody on the project. I was like, "That's not new people. They've been on the project from the start."
Yeah, no, I mean,
Allison wrote the thing.
This is the first book that we've ever worked with them.
Right. I didn't understand that when you first started saying it. That was my confusion.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I mean, there are some new people. Well, we're always trying to reach out, to new school ideas, old school grounding. The best of both worlds, because that's what we try to make good games. So I'm excited to have that. And yeah, so we're still kickstarting that for another 13 more days, I believe. So there's still a chance to get in on that. So thanks everybody for backing that. And
Yep.
That's pretty much it. I think we're still doing another game at 6 today, aren't we?
That's right. We got Dungeons and Dragons coming up in 1.5 hours. That's right. I can do math. Everybody, join us as we go and explore the woods and probably get ambushed by things and have fun exploring. It'll be great time. All right.
Is there anything else we want to hype?
Always remember to like, comment, subscribe, press the plus button, follow, use your Amazon Prime, for Twitch Prime, buy a plushie, and get a cake with our name on it.
And one day we'll have merch.
I don't know, Raph. Are you on any other shows that you would like to say?
Yeah. Is there any other program you might want to include?
The bookend.
I'm currently an irregular guest on Retro Rank Rhapsody, which is on Lolo DePuzzlo's show. I've been an irregular guest on HG 101. We just did Soldier of Fortune, which is what I was talking about is like if you want to see the end of the 90s, beginning of the 2000s, Soldier of Fortune was a video game that's like right at the pivot.
Ooh.
And I might be on some other things, but I don't like to announce stuff until it's actually ready. Says the person who's currently designing Vital Hearts. So, but it's been in the words of the bards, I've got a feeling 21 is going to be a good year.
Oh yeah, definitely. In that case, go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks again for being here, for running, showing us what you got here going for the new game, and thank you everyone for playing. And we'll catch you all next time.